Hey everyone, it's Will614 here, back at it again with yet another video. This is our Charlotte race of our season, the Coke 600 race. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. We're still pushing for 100 subscribers. Keep working toward that. Got some good views on the last video with the different style of editing. I enjoyed making it, so we're going to keep doing that with the voiceover. Give it a little bit more content and action, a little bit more context as well as we do the stuff. And we went into this as a throwback weekend, so you'll see here everybody's kind of got different schemes, different throwbacks. Mine is a 2010 Tony Stewart car, I believe, from his time in Xfinity. It's a Ritz and Oreo car. And there's a bunch of others through the field. I was going into this race looking to lock up the regular season points if I was more than 162 points ahead of second place. After this race, I would wrap up the points championship for the regular season. And with that, you'll see the point standings at the end to see if I got it. And we're going to hop right into qualifying results and the start of this race. Qualifying was a little messed up because of the amount of custom cars we had. We kind of just set the grid in the field while we paced around so that we wouldn't have a lot of desyncs or anything. Unfortunately, Mike in the 5 car did get desynced, but the other 10 of us were able to stay in. So it'd be me and Smoke leading the field to the start. KLF, who had the qualifying pole time, got dropped to the back for drafting off of me, and let's get into the start.
The green box on the wall.
So as you can see here, I get a beautiful jump on the start of this race. Smoke does not get off the line well at all. Really backs up the field, and Georgia in third really comes along with me as the only two guys way ahead of the rest of the pack here through 1 and 2. Georgia gets to my inside a little bit. He's there for a touch. We get through 3 and 4 though. I do clear him off and start to pull away. I would be basically in open track all the way to our first pit stop on lap 17, untouched really, while KLF drove his way through the field. Getting on the pit road here is a mess, but we would get it slowed down, smooth on, and get into our pit stop. Coming out here, you see on lap 19 us working through. There's KLF on the bottom there, so we did get him undercut, and we'd start to work on the guys that were staying out long. Obviously, this isn't technically for position, but on our other teammate TR in the Steve Park throwback, we get by him. And then in the very next corner, we get by Cord to unlap ourselves and start working on these guys. At the end of the cycle, lap 32 here, you can see we're back out in the lead, and KLF is hounding us for the lead. He's finally caught up to us, gotten a Reed Sorensen-esque 41 car to our bumper and to the inside in 1 and 2. He's there, but it is really tough to make that pass on the bottom stick, as you can see him start to float up the track and get loose. That rear end wiggle. And we skip ahead now to lap 34. He would get to our outside. I'm on bad tires. I'm trying to make it stick on the bottom. I don't think I can do it. Here he comes on the outside, getting that good run. I get loose, get floaty. We both get loose, side by side, racing with each other. Can I make it stick? On the bottom once again, we're sliding up the track, and he would clear us and get away. After the pit stop, we'd pit on the same lap and he would walk away from us, leading to him ending up winning the stage. As you can see here, almost sliding, almost wrecking on there. We finished second. KLF would get the win, myself in second, Hub up to third with NASCAR in fourth, Cord finishing fifth with Spec in sixth, TR in seventh, Gators eighth, and Georgia ninth, both a lap down. Into stage 2 now, here for our restart, and as the track got into nighttime and as the track cooled down, the racing up front here would really start to heat up. KLF here on this restart, getting the good jump. I would try to clear Hub, couldn't do it. He would get to the bottom, but off the run on the top, I would get a good push from the 24 behind, and we would push ahead and try to make the big lunge down to the bottom. Slide job to the lead as we clear the 41 off of the corner. However, just then into 3 and 4, or into 1 and 2 the next lap around, he would do the same and clear off of me. I couldn't get back underneath him, and he would take the lead. We would continue to drive away from the field, basically tandem drafting 2011 style, is there would be a couple times where I would try to get out in front of him, like this you're seeing here on lap 6. I could get to the bottom of him, get alongside, but I just couldn't complete the pass to take control of the race, so I would fall back in behind. We'd run side by side, or end to end, until lap 13, where I would make a big mistake, big tank slap into the wall, lose a ton of time. Thankfully, however, we were coming to the line for the caution, so on this next restart, I'd get a good jump alongside of the 41. The 24 on the bottom would get a good jump, where Hub and the 2 would not get one. I get really loose there, almost hit the 24. He clears me. I sneak to the bottom to try and maintain that draft, and we would start working toward the 24 and making a pass there onto lap 19 here into 3 and 4. The 24 gets too high up into the wall. We make a little contact, and he would drop off, and I would clear for second place and try to chase down KLF. Once again, now lap 20, here it is. He's up on the wall, hard into the wall, takes a big slow down. I jump to the bottom and take back the lead. I'd hold it onto lap 24 here. He's alongside of me. We're running down the back straightaway here. I'm holding on to it. I would continue to have this lead all the way to lap 32, where here I would get up into the wall, slide down into him just barely. I would slide, he would slide, both have moments. He would make the save a lot quicker. I'd touch the wall, and we would both keep it going. Thankfully, after that, the 24 would make the pass around me. However, it wouldn't last very long, as I would get back by him. He would pit on lap 34, where I would pit on lap 35, and it would be a race to the end for me to try and pick those positions back up. Here you can see me working on TR for third. He was on a different strategy, taking only 2 tires, and I was able to make quick work of him off the corner here on the bottom, making that pass, and sights would then be set on NASCAR. Here, lap 48, you can see right on the rear bumper, pushing hard, seeing if I can't make a pass. This is where I would look for the first time, get alongside, have to let off though. He would slightly touch the wall, but I had to let off to make sure I didn't pound him into it. Lap 50 now here, coming on to the back straightaway. I'd pull alongside, trying to set up some sort of a pass, seeing if I couldn't make the bottom work. I couldn't do it against KLF. This time, however, I'd drop it into the corner. He would go high, 2 deep in. I'd drive through on the bottom and clear him off the corner. He would get a decent run, but not good enough, and I would take home second in the stage. KLF once again picking up the win, myself in second with NASCAR in third. TR's strategy working for him, getting fourth, with Gators in fifth, Hub 1 lap down in sixth, Cord in seventh, Georgia in eighth, and Smoke down in ninth. On to stage 3 now, and you can see once again it's myself and KLF up front. None of us had lost any positions from random spots gained or lost on pit stops here so far, at least. And once again, I would get a pretty poor restart, and into turn 1, NASCAR would get to my bottom and actually be able to complete the pass before I'd slide underneath. Here, once again, I would get back by him underneath. However, there was a caution on lap 4, which would force us to reset. TR and Gators stayed out to try and do a different strategy, which would cause a big stack up on the restart here as me and KLF are pushing hard. Contact made into the wall. Gators would get sideways, would save it, and we would, and after the big stack up and a couple hard hits, everybody would keep it straight and we'd keep it green. Lap 9 now, KLF getting pushed to the outside. Well, I try to get TR to stay on his bottom. Here comes Cord to the bottom, and Hub as well. Cord would get on the apron, up into me and into the wall, and that would cause me to lose 1, and then the second spot, which I would get back around him into 3 and 4. So you can see TR get into the wall a little bit there as well. And 1 and 2 on the next lap, I would get by TR and have my sights set on Hub. Here on lap 12 now, I'm to his bottom, trying to make a pass, same sort of way I did on NASCAR, dropping it down deep into the corner. Hub would try to run the high line, but he couldn't, and I would clear to the lead. However, though, he would get into my rear bumper, get me up the track, up into the wall, and he would find his way back around me. to lap
Caleb, you better be
15 now, coming onto lap 16. He would get in the wall, and I would find my way back around, clear into second place. However, at this point, I was already starting to think ahead and try to maybe set up some fuel strategy, so I let him back around, but on lap 21, he would slide, big slide, opposite locking the car, but he'd be able to save it all the way onto lap 28. The second to last person to pit would be myself, NASCAR fan, the only other one trying this long, drawn out stop. Here after my pit, TR and Cord would get into it, smashing each other into the wall. I'd find myself right in the middle of the two, off of 4. Contact made with Cord there in the 6, TR to the outside, trying to find my way around both of them or just try to stick in the draft. Here comes Cord on the bottom. He would make the move as I would let them both go. However, I would end up clearing myself, running slow. Everybody else other than me and NASCAR would have to pit. I would take the lead with 5 to go and come to the line to win Stage 3. Myself with the win, NASCAR in second, KLF up to third with Hub in fourth, Georgia back on the lead lap in fifth with TR and Smoke a lap and 2 laps down, Cord 2 laps down as well, and then Gators had dropped out of the race, now 24 laps down. Moving on to stage 4 now, and I would be starting from the lead after picking up the win in stage 3. We'd get a lot of wheel spin on the start, however, and NASCAR would get a good jump on that high line. He would make it work and almost clear us into turn 1. However, I'd get to the bottom of him, be able to work my way to the side and then around him off of 2 as KLF would follow suit very quickly on lap 152 here. He launches it down to the bottom, makes the slide job pass. I'm not able to clear back around as he keeps it off the wall, and we'd run like this until lap 156, where he'd slide up the track a little bit. I'd get on the bottom with a good run off the corner, really side by side, hounding and harassing him, try and find a way around, trying to make the move into turn 1, once again trying to make it stick. I could do it against NASCAR, I could do it against Hub, but I could not pull off the move. However, at the end of this lap, onto the front straightaway.
Whoa. His power went out.
Out in front, nice job.
KLF would stall and sputter, and he would lose connection from the race due to inclement weather where he lives. It's an unfortunate end, but it would leave me way out in the lead until I pit on lap 158. Hub would get back around me with a good undercut because I had a bad jump onto pit road, but on 174 onto 175, I'd pull alongside, trying to make the move, trying to make the pass for the lead. If I could do it, I could probably drive away with one more pit stop and be able to lock down my second win of the season here. We would clear him and get away. He would try to make the move back, but just couldn't do it. I would pit here on lap 185 with a much better pit entrance, and I would come out about 2 seconds or so behind Hub. Here you can see on the left that number climbing. It's around 1.6, and then we would close it down with lap 190. Coming on to lap 191, I would get to his quarter panel just a touch. He would get loose. I'm all over him on the lap 191 into turn 3. He's high and deep into the corner. I would come through to make the move, sweeping underneath, clearing him off the corner. He would try to get back at me, trying to hang on to try and pick up a win for himself. There's the move to the bottom. He couldn't do it, gets loose, loses the car a little bit, and couldn't hang on. And we would go to the last lap here with myself with the
White
lead.
flag, 1 to go, sponsored by your mom. There really wasn't much that happened. I mean, I got into Gators on 1 restart, but I saved him because I backed off of it and straightened him out. Let's go. I win by being the second fastest car again. Let's go.
This would allow us to pick up our second win of the season. Hub would come in second, NASCAR in third, with Georgia with a good recovery to fourth, TR up to fifth, Cord in sixth with a lot of mistakes. Smoke would come home in seventh, And then KLF obviously with the DNF due to inclement weather and him losing power. 9th would be Gators, 10th would be Spec, and 11th would be Mike, obviously, because of the desync. So that would be all for this video. Let me throw up the points now. I would get enough away to lock up the regular season championship with 2 races to go at Daytona and Chicago. Our first race of the chase is at Iowa, one of my favorite tracks in this game. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to check out when all those videos release, especially for the chase. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have the points reset, kind of like how new NASCAR is doing it with their point system. And yeah, other than that, I got nothing else to say. Until next time, take it easy.